Hi again. Okay, so with the assignment, I've been asked how you should approach the fact that there are three parts to the topic that you need to consider in order to demonstrate that photographs are cultural constructions. So there's the relationship between the photographer and subject. There is the technical and aesthetic decisions that the photographer makes, and the context in which photographs appear. And I've been asked whether you should divide your essay into sections in terms of those, breaking that down into three parts, or whether you should discuss photograph about. Now, it is up to you how you structure your essay. If it were me, the reason why I would analyse each photograph in turn and then talk about all of those three things in relation to each photograph is just to demonstrate that every photograph is a cultural construction, and these are the reasons why. And because that's what I've asked you to do. But you can still do that by looking at those three things one at a time. So it really is up to you. Now, obviously, you'll have more or less to say about each of those things in terms of each of your photographs. So don't worry about trying to say the same amount about the relationship between photographer and subject, for example, for each of your images, because that'll differ. So you can structure your essay around a discussion of each part of the topic in turn or in relation to each of your images. So, for example, if you structure your essay around the parts of the topic, you might have a topic sentence for one of your paragraphs that's something like, the relationship between the photographer and their subject renders all photographs a cultural construction, and this can be illustrated by analysing the three photographs I've chosen. Or you could have a topic sentence like, the photograph by Diane Arbus of such and such can be analysed in terms of the relationship between photographer and subject, yada yada yada, in order to demonstrate that all photographs are a cultural construction. So please be reassured that there aren't any tricks here. I'm not trying to trip you up on anything. I'm trying to give you all the information that you need to write a strong essay, and I really hope that the kinds of things that you might write about come into focus this week as we look at the work of particular photographers. So you're welcome to use the images that I discuss this week and in coming weeks. And I'll also mention the work of other photographers whose work we won't be covering in detail that you might, whose work you might want to look at. And so you can search online to find examples of these other photographers' work or the photographers I mentioned's work. And something to note here is, while Wikipedia is a good starting place, don't cite Wikipedia in your essays because it's not considered to be a legitimate academic source. At the bottom of a wiki page are often external links that information's been drawn from, and you can use these as sources rather than the Wikipedia itself. And so it is acceptable practice to cite blogs or discussion forums or news or magazine articles that are online, just not Wikipedia. So the lecture outline for today is really big. It's about 15 pages long, and this is because I've included lots of examples of the photographers that I'm talking about's work, and I've made the images big enough so that you can look at them and consider the detail within them. And so, like last time, I'm going to upload two versions of the lecture outline for today. One long one for you to listen to along with the audio lecture, and the other without the images in, where the images are thumbnails at the end, if you're wanting to print out the lecture outline and not print out a 15-page document. So while it's going to be called Lecture 4 Outline, no images, there will be images, but they'll just be little thumbnails at the end. So if you're wanting to use one of the images that I discuss today or on Wednesday or next week, and you're having trouble finding it online, just let me know and I can post the outline as a Word document, which will let you copy and save the images. And remember that you have a week starting today to upload an image to your profile and to upload an image to the forums if you want to get marks for that. And it's really important that you do upload a photograph to the discussion forum with a brief commentary, because if you don't, you're stopping your classmates from having photographs to comment on. So the instructions for how and where to upload an image are on page 6 of the course outline. And if you can't find the discussion forum section, it's probably because you've got this week's section folder open. So above the list of weeks on the left is the Comms 303 title, and if you click on that, it'll return you to the home page, and then you'll see a link on the top to the forums, and it's where there's a little man with a bubble coming out his head. And so I'll post a discussion topic about the exercise that we're doing this week there, and you'll be able to click on that to get to where you need to go to post your image as a new discussion topic. And if you haven't found an image that you want to upload yet, then don't worry, because this week will give you some ideas of where to look and what to look for. And one final point is that there are problems with scheduling office hours and finding room space, because there are so many people who are wanting to use what very little space there is available on campus. So I won't be having office hours this week, but I will be having hours where I'm on campus next week on Thursday for consultations, and so I'll post details to that on Learn if you want to come and see me to talk about your essays before they're due. And so time to go to your audio file now and make sure that the outline that you're reading along with now and for the lecture is the 15-page long one, because that's the one that's got the pictures that I'm going to be talking about in it.